Welcome everyone to the Applicants Day webinar. I am Rehnuma, a second-year master student of Banking and International Finance.
And my name is Joaquin, and I'm a second-year student of the Responsible Management and Business of Sport Master's degree.
Today, here we are with you as your host for this webinar. Today, we are mainly focusing on our international bachelor's and master's degree program. So, let's begin with our webinar.
Well, welcome to all of you. It's very nice to hear that we have people coming for different countries around the world. Like we remember when we were applicants and thinking about coming here, and it's very enthusiastic that you are thinking about joining us here. So we are going to start by listening about the new programs that the university offers starting next year from the bachelor's and master's degree. Then we are going to have Annie from the admissions office that is going to tell us more about the application processes and the different steps so that you can prepare better for the joint application. And then we're going to have some fellow students that are going to tell us about what it's like to study here in Jyväskylä and what the city has to offer, and also their personal journeys on what did they choose to come to JYU before finishing with the questions and answers that you have been sharing before. So please, you can ask more questions in the event chat. We will be going to try to answer them as they come, and also at the end of this webinar, we're going to be answering some more. You can also visit the virtual booths that the different faculties and programs have, so that you can talk with the specialists there, and also watch the virtual tour of the university, and also learn more about the study life here in Jyväskylä. So please feel free to write all the questions that you want in the event chat. Don't share any personal information because all of that information is visible for everyone, but you can ask, for instance, if you have a particular question about admissions, there is the virtual booth of the admissions team, so you can ask. Then you can also visit this booth to meet the program staff and check a lot of video content that we have prepared and visit the virtual tour of the university. After we finish this, the recording will be sent to all of you. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the University of Jyväskylä, a multidisciplinary research university right in the heart of Finland. Here, almost 15,000 of students call JYU their home. And we are championing education since 1863. We have the world-class education, and we have been recognized into top 500 by the QS World Ranking University and among the top 3% among the Center for World University Rankings. Also, we have the high quality lab facilities and highly qualified teachers, which makes JYU a great place to study. Moreover, JYU also maintains international collaboration with different universities also to provide international student exchange opportunities. Here, we have a strong sense of community. JYU provides different kind of student activities and student facilities. Here, we believe that everyone is equal. We believe in strong sense of community. We have student-led clubs, we have local friendship program, and there are tutors for the new students who guide them in their studies and to get settled down in Jyväskylä. Here, we believe in learning, research, and collaboration to make something different. So, are you ready to take your next step towards something extraordinary? Then bear with us to know more about our international bachelor's and master's degree programs. So, there are two bachelor's degree programs. One is Business Innovation and Sustainability. Our new students of this program just started their studies in this autumn. And another master's degree program is Immersive Software Engineering and AI. this will be offered next year in 2026. You will get to know more about this program later on this webinar. To complete this bachelor's program, you have to complete 180 ECTS or 3 years of studies. After completing this program, you can get into a master's degree in the same faculty, or you will be equipped enough to start your working career.
We have 20 master's degree programs from the different faculties. So as you can read on the screen, we have from the School of Business and Economics, we have Banking and International Finance, Comparative Environmental Management, Digital Market and Corporate Communication, International Business Entrepreneurship, and my own course, Responsible Management and Business of Sport. Something that I find really cool about the University of Jyväskylä is that we have quite many multidisciplinary master's degrees. So, for instance, my course, the RESPO program, it's being taught in both the JSB, which is the School of Business and Economics, and also the faculties of Sport and Science. That for me, it has been a great way to learn, because being in the sports management business means that we have to learn from both from those academic areas. So then we have also Faculty of Education and Psychology. Then we have the EDUMA Masters of the Educational Sciences, Development, Education, and International Cooperation, the DEICO program that is also shared with the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. So again, multidisciplinary master that lets you learn from experts from both worlds. Then from the Faculty of Information Technology, and we also have the High Performance Computer master's degree together with the Faculty of Mathematics and Science. And then, well, we have also the new Masters of Aquatic Sciences and Ecology and Evolutionary Science. And at last, the Faculty of Sport and Health Sciences. So every year, besides all the finished taught masters that there are in the university, we receive many students from all around the world to study their education here.
Okay.
So now we welcome Timo Marjomäki and Lutz Fromhage from the Faculty of Mathematics and Sciences. Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So let us first talk to Timo about our new master's degree program on aquatic science. Hi Timo, how are you today?
I'm fine. How about you?
Yes, I'm also
Okay.
good. Thank you. Can you tell us more about this program?
Well, the program is a new one, but it has been going on already before as part of the larger program. We decided to give a separate program on aquatic science from now on, so that the students can apply directly to this program.
Okay. Can you also tell us about what kind of study environment this program offers to the students?
Yes, obviously there are lectures in the lecture rooms, but then we have good laboratory facilities, for example, for studying the taxonomical things, the species identification and that sort of things for different aquatic species. And obviously, as the science concentrates on ecosystems, we have a lot of lake and river ecosystems around where you can study hands-on.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. Yeah. Can you also tell us what career path this program actually prepared the students for, what kind of career they can choose after graduating this program?
Mm-hmm. There are multiple choices. Obviously, most of the students, they end up being consultants, for example, in a company, or they might be in administrative jobs or that sort of things. But then many research organizations hire people that we have trained in aquatic science and so on, and many students carry on in further doctoral studies as well.
Okay, can you also tell us like what kind of students will thrive in this program? Like what kind of students will choose to do this program and you are looking for?
We are looking for curious students who have some background information on biological or ecological studies and also environmental engineering as well.
Okay, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Timo. Yeah,
Thank you.
It's a very interesting
yeah,
program. Like we're in the university, like at least I'm used to programs with very long names,
yeah.
and I like the aquatic sciences, straight to the point.
Yeah.
First in the alphabet
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great, and of course, like a master degree also focuses a lot on like the research that you do for your thesis, and I imagine that there is a lot of like lab work going
Yeah.
on.
Mhm.
Can you like walk us through to like maybe with some example of what the process of writing your thesis looks like in this program?
Yes. Obviously, the master's thesis, they are usually practical experiments, for example. We have good facilities to do experimentation with aquatic animals in our research station in Konnevesi. There is a big hall and there you can replicate different treatments several times, for example, related to aquatic parasitology and so on. And therefore it is very important that before you start your master's thesis, you have a very good plan what to do there, because you are working with live animals and vegetation and so on. And then you usually do some experiment, and then you gather the data and you do the statistical analysis and write your thesis, and that's it. And everything is done together with a supervisors and a study group that works with you, so you don't have to be alone with the issues that might come up in research, because this sort of research, although you are planning it very well, it always brings up some surprises and in a way to the end.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so Lutz, now let's talk about the master's degree program in ecology and evolutionary biology. So tell us more about your program.
So in this program, we focus on the fundamental concepts of ecology, genetics, and evolution, from molecules to whole ecosystems. So our focus is on basic science, on understanding really how nature works, but we also cover some practical applications, for example, environmental impact assessment and ecosystem management.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I really like when I was going through the information of the website, like casually mentioning like, yeah, we are like researching about the origins of life, and I was like, okay, so it's a very, very interesting subject. And what kind of study environments are available in your program?
It's quite diverse. We have some field courses where we really go into the forest and observe and measure things there. We have laboratory courses where we teach some state-of-the-art methods, for example, in genetics. We have computer courses where we learn how to build theoretical models, for example, models about population management or evolution. Then there are discussion groups, there are research seminars, and also traditional lectures.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And what kind of career path does this program prepare the students for?
The most obvious options are careers in environmental consulting firms or in the environmental administration or in research. But our graduates also have quite many transferable skills, for example, in data interpretation and problem solving, that can be useful much more broadly and also be used in careers, for example, in communications and various advisory roles.
Okay.
Very, very interesting how like the combination of the academic and the research theory then has like an actual impact on people's lives and everyday lives. And can you tell us like some research that you have performed in the faculty previously and how it may have an impact on people's lives?
Well, we have some people, for example, who are working with viruses and who are, well, have recent memories of the recent pandemic, I guess. So it's clear that that has a huge impact on human lives. And so basically understanding the detailed mechanisms of how different viruses works always offers a potential point where you can attack the virus. Basically, you know how it works in order to know how to disable it, basically. So that's one, maybe the most impactful applications in the most immediate way that I can think of.
Yeah. What kind of like industry or research industry the students after completing this program can like thrive in? Like they can work in this industry, how they can have a like their own kind of research or have an impact on the future medical or biology research they can do after completing this program?
Yeah, industry, I guess any kind of industry that does research of any kind.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutical, for example. Yeah. I guess maybe this is more relevant to Timo's program, but the aquaculture industry, for example, is also a field where our research methods kind of are applicable, and so where our students are in a good position to work in that area.
Okay.
What makes Finland a special place to study in this field?
Finland is very good because we have so much nature and relatively low population density. So our campus where we work is really in the middle between the lake and the forest. And so you can work on different biological systems and have a short way to the laboratory back and forth. And so combine different approaches, lab approaches and field approaches. And I think this could hardly be better anywhere else.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. It has been very interesting to learn about these new programs. These are the two of the new programs that are going to be available for registration for this upcoming application. So please stay with us. We're going to have a small break now. And well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Welcome back, everyone, from the break. Before going on the break, we were talking with Timo and Lutz about their new master's degree program. So, Joaquin, what did you learn which is very interesting in these programs?
Well, I really liked their focus on the different places in which you can do research in a way that, of course, that is like far away from my own field of expertise.
Yeah.
But I could imagine like being like people who are like researchers and working with different environments, like for instance on the lakes, and like I was thinking like how could you like recreate an experiment in like in that kind of environment in which you have to replicate things that may not be so easy as because if you're like thinking about sport physiology, you can tell someone, okay, throw the ball again, and then we do it again. But if you are going to study like how life develops in certain like aquatic means, like I don't know, never thought about it, and it's very interesting.
Yes, this sounds very cool. Like these are also very different from my faculties and also Finland. I think for Finland, these two programs are really good because Finland has abundant forest resources and lakes. So these study courses are really good in Finland. If you come here and study this program, I think you will going to have a great career afterwards. So, not going forward, let us welcome Raine Koskima to talk more about our master's degree program on game studies.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
How are you, Raine, today?
Oh, fine. It's a perfect day.
Okay, Raine, can you tell us more about the program Game Studies?
Well, yeah. So this is a kind of program for people who want to get more deeper into the gaming field. So this is that's a research-oriented program on game studies.
Can you also tell us like what kind of students you're looking for and what kind of students that will thrive in this program?
Yeah, that's a nice question. So we are definitely looking for persons who are eager to constantly learn new things. Someone who wants to understand the world and gaming related phenomena more profoundly, and is ready to engage in serious research.
Okay.
But that said, knowledge and experience of the gaming fields is a must. You don't need to be a game developer or such, but you should be familiar with the wide variety of games, game cultures, and their various practices. So if you happen to have a previous degree in game design or similar, that's perfect. Here you will get to understand more deeply how people engage with games.
Okay.
And if you have practical experience from a game company, in our program you can focus on gaining theoretical understanding of the field. And also, if you have a degree in communication or arts, history, pedagogy, and so on, and a strong conviction that games are relevant in all areas of human activity, here you will learn to apply your previous knowledge in game development and gamification.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, I also want to know that what kind of study environment this program actually offers to the students.
Yeah. So, of course, there is all of the state-of-the-art educational facilities that the JYU is offering to all of the students here, as you are well familiar with, I guess. But in addition to that, we also have a brand new game lab. So that provides a perfect environment for developing game projects and to engage in, yes, you guess it, to play games. So kind of good quality machines there and a nice environment for that, because it's important that the researchers are also familiar with the games that they are researching. And most importantly, the game lab provides a possibility to engage in experimental game research regarding games, the players, and how they interact. In addition to the game lab, we have a very nice retro game collection. I'm not sure if many of the students at JYU are aware of that, but we have it's part of the University of Jyväskylä museum collection. So there are all these old console machines. There are also old microcomputers, lots of auxiliary devices, collections of old games for those. So it's possible to experience those old classic games in the original form that they were originally published. So that can be used for educational and research purposes. And then outside of the university, here in Jyväskylä, there is a EXPA game cooperative, which is running the only authorized Unreal training center in the whole of the Nordic countries. Actually, it's the most northern training center in the whole of the world. And we are collaborating with EXPA and this Unreal training center. So Unreal Engine is the that sort of the most ambitious environment for creating games. So the training center provides kind of great possibilities for our students too. So nice variety of options here.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I also want to know that what kind of like research or industry this subject actually connects the students with.
Yeah, so we have a wide variety, very wide kind of network of industry connections. We are constantly working on that. Just the kind of Monday, Tuesday this week, I spent in Helsinki where the Finnish Game Week is going on. Met dozens of Finnish game companies and their representatives. But it's also worth noting that Jyväskylä is quite a big place for game industry as well. So 10% of all the Finnish game companies are located in Jyväskylä. Again, kind of piece of detail that not many even living in Jyväskylä are aware of. So we have of course, close connection to those kind of local game companies, but also to more importantly to the Finnish field here, but also international contacts to Epic Games, for example. And then we are not only talking about the games industry and game companies, but gamification, game services, game technologies are applied in a wide range of industries. So kind of the industrial simulation type of things and design, architecture, all of these are using game technology nowadays. And outside of the industry, there's the whole public sector. So we have education, media, museums, libraries, so on and so forth. And all of those have interest in the gaming field. And we have kind of extensive networks to those directions as well. And they provide then possibilities for internships for the students, and they can provide real life problems and challenges, topics for the students to engage in their projects, in their thesis work. So that's the practical part. But then what comes to research, we are part of the Finnish Center of Excellence in Game Culture Studies. So there's a wide variety of research projects going on all the time. So we can engage the students in real research projects where we can work with real life data and contribute to serious scientific work. And we are specifically strong in topics like how games convey meanings, how people interpret games, educational games, esports, the competitive gaming, and all the phenomena around that, player communities, player psychology, game streaming, and right now, as we are speaking, we are developing a cutting-edge research tools with the help of AI to analyze huge amounts of game streams. So we can take hundreds of hours of game stream and make automatic analysis of what's happening there. So lots of possibilities, kind of contacts to both the industry and then these research opportunities.
That sounds really interesting. Can I also get to know like what kind of career path the program actually prepared the students for?
Yeah, so there is this strong research emphasis, research methodology. So it makes our graduates ready to continue academic path, to continue into doctoral studies. So that's one option. But then also in the game industry, the whole field is developing fast and changing, and there are new things happening all the time. So there's a constant need for adults to understand the world and see what is happening, trying to be a bit of ahead of the change. And also the technologies are developing fast. So many of the Finnish game companies, for example, they have started their own research departments lately. So there is a growing need for this kind of research skilled game specialist in the field. And in society at large, there's an increasing need for to understand better the status and the role of games and playing in culture. So I would say also that quite big part of our graduates would then find employment in the public sector in education, for example.
Thank you very much, Raine.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very interesting,
Yeah.
and from my point of view, at least, it's good to see like this kind of new programs that maybe like 20 years ago it would be impossible to think of a
Yeah.
master's degree program in
Yeah.
game studies, and also when you told us about like the different like previous study path that could lead you to the to this masters, it was interesting to see like the different like from the more like development very much scientific or math and logic oriented, but rather also like from the social sciences and education in a way that, for instance, I come from the sports world, and I think, okay, well, video games, well, actually they have a lot in common, and from the theory when people talk about like free time and games and leisure, but also from the practical aspect, like with esports and how it has been developing now.
Yeah. Well, that's true. So we are really. I would like to see a kind of student group where there are those who have studied that sort of they have a degree in game design, game production, such area. Then those who have a degree in some other these like education, cultural studies, whatever. But also those who have a kind of several years experience, kind of practical working experience in gaming field already, and who want to kind of return to university to deepen their understanding. So that's and then the student group would also provide peer support and that sort of also bring in their own expertise into that. But when you mentioned the sports field, that's one area where we are doing research. So esports has connection to that's our sports studies naturally, but we also engage in quite wide scale research on how gaming and physical activity and kind of sports as a hobby are connected with each other, and so definitely I would encourage also people with that sort of sports science background to apply.
Yeah, but I think that we went from like saying like, okay, stop playing on your computer and the console and go and play some sports outside, and now we are seeing like how they start to combine themselves. So for instance, my main sport is rowing, and there is a lot of preparation that is being done in the rowing machines.
Sure.
And now they are having the Olympic e-games starting, and rowing in the rowing machine is going to be a part of that.
Sure.
And this kind of like developments that I think, like if you think of a rowing boat, you can think of nothing that is farther away from a video game. And now this kind of connection make it possible to very large possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. It's like there is no area of that of human activity which wouldn't have that sort of application area, which connects somehow to games and that sort of gameful, playful attitude.
Yeah.
And of course, XR gaming is a kind of growing area. So it's kind of games which are also kind of incorporating that sort of bodily exercise. And
how do you evaluate like the shift? Maybe video games in the beginning were more like console oriented, and now, like at least in terms of revenue, there is much more like also money related to the mobile gaming.
Sure. That's the has been the big trend over the past 20 years, that the mobile gaming has been kind of growing all the time, and it's already that sort of in a way the kind of economically looking at it's the biggest part of it nowadays. Especially kind of Finland is very very mobile gaming kind of oriented, but then they are quite different fields. They are a bit different games that you are making for PCs, that you are making for consoles, what you are making for mobile. So and that's one place where you can that sort of focus or kind of choose a part on one of those.
Okay. Thank you very much, Raine, for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks. And hopefully see you in some of those gaming environments online as well.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so very interesting to hear about the gaming industry. I have never been apart from just playing some games myself, but it's good to see how the academic part surrounds the whole business. So our last game comes from the from the new programs, we welcome Lauri Kettunen from the Immersive Software Engineering and AI Bachelor's program. Welcome, Lauri.
Hello, and thank you.
So this is our second bachelor's degree taught in English here in the university. This one is going to start next year, and I have to say, like from what I read in the website about how your studies will try to mirror the working life and trying to intertwining logical reasoning with the hands-on practice. So can you tell us more about the program?
Oh yes, sure. So this all starts from the idea that the abstractness of technology is increasing really quickly. So something like AI has changed things during the last couple of years really in a huge amount. And what it means from the educational point of view, of course, we can't teach students anymore in the same way. And on the other hand, to become a professional in the field, it means that one has to learn more and more, which is of course impossible. So we have had to reconsider how we want to arrange the education of people in this field, and especially how to arrange the education of those who want to become the ones that develop the technology for tomorrow. And that's the background of this program. And to become a really skillful professional, able to design new things, it means that you really need to know your subject. So, and as we all know, true learning is something quite different than memorizing things, passing exams. There's far more what it takes to learn. And now our goal is that our students really get to this path, that they really learn. And so for this reason, we decided that, okay, let's skip this kind of thinking that there's a course, you sit there listening, you take an exam and show your learning with the passing the exam. So instead we arranged it as like coming to work. So the students will come in the morning, we will teach them in an active way, let's say a couple of hours. Then during the day, they will do all kind of things, exercises, tasks, projects, supported by our teachers. And in the afternoons, then we sum up what has happened during the day. And we follow how the students make progress every week. Because then when we follow all the time, it means that we are in a better position also to support them and to give them especially support they need to learn things. Because we all of us know that learning is also a very individual thing. Everybody learns in a different way. And then a really essential part of these studies, we have 2 4-month internships in industry. Assuming the students pass the interview, it will be also paid internship, which gives the students a chance to then integrate this, what they learn at the campus, this scientific knowledge they learn, to integrate this one with the real world needs and work part of a team developing technology. So in short, rather new arrangement.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting, but it also makes a lot of sense thinking that 10 years ago, the AI and this kind of information technologies were not as mainstream as they are now, and then the students that will join this program when they started their school, maybe this kind of programs you wouldn't think about it, and now you can't train your students to the things that are happening now, because by the time they finish their 3-year bachelor's or when they continue to a master's in 5 years, we don't know what the world is going to be looking like, and they need to learn how to also create and adapt, and not only to know everything that they.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And what it also means that Some people say that when AI comes in, they are like looking backwards and are thinking of what we've known in the past. But we feel that what will happen is that those people who know and are able really to exploit AI to do new things. So it's AI which is not doing the thing, it's still the people, but they can use AI as a tool. They will be the ones who show us what the future will be.
Yeah, I just saw a person in my country like giving an interview in the media, and he was saying that AI is not going to take away your job. Someone who knows how to use AI is going to take away your job if you don't like really learn.
Yeah, and if you think it this way, up to the very last years, all software which is there in the web was typed by somebody with a keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a really, historically, it's a big change that now machines are able to generate code. And it doesn't mean that the amount of code which will be there is constant. It will mean now that since it's no longer a fully manual process, that machine takes part in generating code, it means that there will be even more code in the future than compared to the past, and this will generate a lot of new possibilities.
All right. So in international bachelor's degrees, you're going to have a lot of people coming from around the world, young people with a lot of expectations. What kind of students are the ones that you think will thrive the most in this environment?
Yeah, we seek for students who have the motivation and passion to develop technology. So this is what this is all about. So it's clear that working, like coming to work, working around 40 hours a week, studying, that requires a commitment. So it's not, it won't be only something very nice thing to do. And we all know that when we learn things, it frustrates us sometimes, and it challenges us because we don't feel so good when we see our friends understanding something and then we realize that I don't. So we need a commitment, or we expect the students have a commitment that they really want to have this. But then also we will support them. And we require no earlier experience in programming or in a IT field. So we think of somebody who maybe would like to go to study medicine or law or whatever. They are very welcome. The only technical thing is that the student should have this second level studies in mathematics. So kind of high school level mathematics in the background.
Great. And what do you think, like thinking from the point of view of the students, why is this program attractive for them, or why should they come to JYU?
I think the really exciting possibility in this program is that one can start to build a career like from day one. So when they come here, we have made arrangements that if the students progress in their studies, they will have a chance to get to this internship, to learn to know new people working in companies, developing technology. So they will be able to create this kind of network. And usually when students come to the university, they just come and they're collected together as a group, but you have to do everything yourself. So in this case, we have prepared this kind of background things that everybody needs to become a professional already from the university side. And so we try to offer this kind of accelerated path to this kind of IT development and to as a professional in technology.
Thank you. What you were discussing and telling us about the internship and the kind of research that you do. What kind of environment does the university have, and Finland as a country in this field?
Well, if we think first of Finland in this field, so for instance, we cooperate in this program with Nokia, which is a well-known global company developing a lot of new things. And so Finland is known as one of the countries developing high-tech. So we have this environment and we have a lot of connections, international connections all around the world. Then Finland is also known as a country of high-level education. And the university is highly ranked internationally and is known as a really strong scientific university. Then the environment in Finland, we have really true 4 seasons, the lakes, the forest, the hills, the summer, and completely different white winter. I think many people find this really attractive. So the environment is kind of supports this kind of, it's a nice and peaceful environment for learning. Then perhaps should mention the university itself also. The University of Jyväskylä is a multidisciplinary university, and kind of intellectual cultivation is highly valued, ethics is highly valued, and academic freedom. And so we very much emphasize this kind of values that are usually considered really important. And also Finland is one of the Nordic countries, and it's well known that equality is also a very strong value here. And especially female students are working as a female professional in Nordic countries and in Finland makes it possible to combine private life in a meaningful way with the career. So when students come here, we have already the housing arrangements and the healthcare, and all the things continue when one graduates, starts to work somewhere. There is this kind of support from the society, making it possible to be and live a human being, living normal life and having a career.
Yeah. Finland is actually known for their equal opportunities and for both genders, and also Finland is very much advanced in technologies. So I think this program sounds very cool. Like if I had a chance to do another bachelor, I might be choosing this. Yeah.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, Lauri, for coming here. It was a very interesting approach, and also for our audience that are watching us right now, thinking about coming to Finland to study their masters. So we thank you, and now we are going to leave for a short break. Afterwards, we will continue with Annie from admissions that is going to walk us through the admissions process, and you can also take this moment to write your questions in the event chat. Also, you can visit the virtual tour of the university and visit the faculty booths, and this is the moment to ask the experts that are there from the different programs any particular questions that you have about them. So stay tuned that we are going to return in a couple of minutes.
This is the University of Jyväskylä and its beautiful lakeside campus. Here are members of our community, students, teachers, researchers, innovators ready to change the world. People whose thinking has been shaped by the learning, research, and intellectual curiosity that have been nurtured here for over 160 years. In 1863, Finland's first Finnish language teacher seminary was established in Jyväskylä, laying the foundation for what we now know as the University of Jyväskylä. Since then, our community has grown to include more than 14,000 students, 2,800 experts, and 6 faculties. Today, we are among the world leaders in the fields of learning, well-being, and basic natural phenomena. People are at the core of everything we do. Education is, above all, about making us more aware, empathetic, and innovative. It is a lifelong journey that calls for an open-minded approach to new ideas. Our high-quality and internationally renowned education and research provide people with the skills and knowledge to move society and individuals forward. The University of Jyväskylä is unique. We aim to attract open-minded individuals to join our innovative community that looks boldly towards the future as we strive for societal and scientific impact. This is the University of Jyväskylä.
Hello, welcome back from the break. Now we are going to know more about the application process and tuition fees from Anni. But before that, let me ask you, Joaquin, when did you actually decided that you were going to come to Finland and study at JYU? What was your application process was like?
Well, I was thinking about studying abroad for quite a long time, and at the moment I had my girlfriend living in Finland already. So I think like I started like gathering all the information, and I think like, well, I think like by June or July the previous year, I already knew that I wanted to come, and then I chose the RESPO program, and I think I started like really gathering all the papers, the paperwork that I needed about like in October, November, because if you think about it, that we have 3 months until the application process starts, and then we, at least in my case, I had to get some of the papers translated and stuff, so that is also like important to take time to do it in order not to be in a rush. At least in my country in December, like it's the summer, so like there are some offices that stop working, especially like in the universities when you ask for a transcript or whatever. So it was very important for me to start early with the process of application. What about you?
Well, I was planning to do a master's just after my bachelor's, and I didn't have a passport, so I applied for a passport and got the passport on September. And the day after I got the passport, I applied for IELTS exam. Like I registered for it, and then my IELTS exam was on October 28th, and then I started to gather all the certificates and stuff, and we had to legalize them. So I did all the processing around November, December of time, and then I applied to universities in Finland, Jyväskylä, and other university also in January session. And then I remember that I had an interview around like March time from Professor Heikki, and then my interview wasn't, I would say that it went very average, but I really wanted to come here because Jyväskylä has a lot of like natural facility, natural like abundant forest resources, and I really wanted to stay in a very good place, in a nature around surrounding place. So I was hoping for it, and yeah, I got in, and the mail came in April, and I decided to come here. And I told my parents that yes, I'm going to Jyväskylä and studying Finland, the happiest country in the world, and around the nature, and I'm going to thrive in it, I know. So here I am here with you today.
Great.
So.
And also here with us we have Annie from the admissions office, that she's going to be walking us through the admissions process, so how to apply for to study in the university. So
Yes.
Annie Rasanen, welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your experiences, Joaquin and Renuma. So my role here today is to give you a bit of an introduction to the topic of how to apply And then at the end of this presentation, I will also say a few words about tuition fees, scholarships, and then also other financial matters. And if during this presentation any questions arise, please feel free to ask them in the chat or at our booth. My colleagues from the admission services are there to answer your questions. So here first you can see the admission timetable and also some tips on how to prepare for the admission round. So our international bachelor's and master's programs are part of the joint application period in January. The application period starts on the 7th of January and ends on the 21st. So please make sure to submit your application within that time frame. And then a week after the application period has ended, there's the general attachment deadline, so on the 28th of January. So once you have submitted the application by the 21st, you will still have some time to submit all the attachments onto your application form. And please note that if you are applying to our international bachelor's programs and your previous qualification or degree is unfinished at the time of application, some other deadlines may apply. Those have already been added onto our websites, so you can find them there. And once you have submitted the application and the attachments, please keep an eye on your email. Some of our programs have online interviews, which will take place in March. And invitations to those will be sent by email. So please remember to check your email and also the spam folder regularly. And then most of our results are published in April, at the latest on the 1st of April. And if you apply to the bachelor's degree program in Business Innovation and Sustainability in Admission Group 1, please note that you will hear from us and from the results at late May, 27th of May at the latest. And if we move on to the tips on the right-hand side, so we warmly encourage for you to start preparing well in advance. You can start today by reading the program-specific admission criteria of the program that you would be interested in applying for. And if anything in the admission criteria seems unclear or you don't understand something, please feel free to contact us, the admission services or the program staff, and we are happy to clarify and help. And if based on the admission criteria it seems that a language test or an aptitude test result is required from you, please book and take the test as soon as possible, because for instance with the SAT and ACT tests, we know for a fact that the general exam dates can be fully booked even before the registration ends. So don't take too much time before booking the tests. And then we also encourage for you and ask for you to see further instructions on our document content requirements from our websites. Those will be added there in late October or early November. So please check back to our websites to find out our further requirements for the documents. And just as a reminder, you don't have to send us any paper documents during the application phase, so scanned copies of your educational documents and possible translations are sufficient at that point. And if you are conditionally admitted, then you might be required to send us certified paper copies. And lastly, but not least, please participate to our How to Apply webinars on December. There we will walk through the application process in more detail. As mentioned earlier, our international bachelor's and master's programs are part of the joint application period to higher education. And the application period takes place in January. And it basically means that with the same application form in the study info portal, you can apply for 1 to 6 programs offered by different Finnish higher education institutions that take part in the joint application round. So you can choose programs of your interest from our university, but also from other Finnish higher education institutions that take part in the joint application. And also please pay in mind that an application fee is charged from applicants outside the EU/EEA countries and Switzerland who seek admission to a bachelor's or master's degree in Finland. The amount of the fee is 100 euros, and it is not possible to have an application fee waiver based on any reason at all. Then I will say a few words about the eligibility requirements. So when you apply to our international bachelor's or master's programs, there are these kind of 2 general eligibility requirements that apply to both of them. So first, you must have a suitable previous degree that gives you eligibility to study in the level that you are applying for. So if you apply for a master's program, you must have a bachelor's degree that gives you eligibility for master's level studies in the country that it was awarded in. And if your previous degree is unfinished at the time of application, you can still apply, but on the condition that you graduate and are able to deliver the required educational documents to us by a given deadline. And these are informed on our How to Apply websites. Then the second general eligibility requirement for all of our applicants is the requirement to prove English skills according to the program-specific admission criteria. So even if you are a native speaker of English, you still have to prove your English skills according to our requirements. And we do not grant any waivers for the language requirements. And then also 2 important additional requirements that I want to mention here. First, please remember that you must submit a complete application with all the required attachments. Because if your application is missing any of the required attachments, we will not process it further, even though everything else would be in order on the application. So please make sure that all the required attachments are there by the given deadlines and that they follow our requirements. And then secondly, if it is required from you, make sure to pay the application fee within 7 days after you have submitted the online application form. Because if you don't pay it within the deadline, then your application will be automatically cancelled. Then, in addition to the general eligibility requirements, we have the program-specific admission criteria. And the program-specific admission criteria kind of define the eligibility requirements in the program level. And as you can see from the slide, there are many important things defined in the program-specific admission criteria. So, for instance, if you are wondering, does my previous degrees field give me eligibility to this program, please check the admission criteria because the answer is most probably there. Also, the ways in which you can prove your English skills are stated in the program-specific admission criteria, or there's a direct link to our websites. So the information is available there. Also, all the attachments that you should submit us are listed there at the end of the program-specific admission criteria. And when it comes to aptitude tests, such as the SAT, ACT, GMAT, GRE tests, the program-specific admission criteria also clarify whether a test is required from you. And then you can also find useful information on the admission phases from the program-specific admission criteria. So you don't have to guess how the process goes. It is visible in the admission criteria. Then a few words about the tuition fees and scholarships. So tuition fees are charged from non-EU EEA students in our English taught bachelor's and master's programs, so no tuition fees are charged in the doctoral programs. And the tuition fee amount in our degree programs varies from 10,000 to 16,000 euros per academic year. And please also note that some residence permit types may also exempt you from paying the tuition fee, and EU EEA students study free of charge. And then about the scholarships. So there is no scholarship available for the first year of studies, but instead we have an early bird discount of 1,500 euros available for those admitted applicants who accept their study place within 14 days after receiving the letter of admission from us, and it will come to you by email. As for the second and the third year, in case of bachelor students, we have these partial scholarships available, provided that a student makes sufficient academic progress in their studies. So they are not like these 50% scholarships anymore, but a partial scholarship. And there are no fully funded scholarships available. You can find a lot of useful information from our tuition fees and scholarships website. About other financial matters, so living expenses, please note that the estimated monthly expenses are around 900 euros per month, which includes food, accommodation, clothes, travel, etc. And just as a reminder, non-EU EEA nationals need a residence permit to move to Finland for studies, and when you apply for the residence permit, you must prove ability to cover living expenses for your first year of studies. So you must have 9,620 euros in your own bank account. And it is highly recommended that this amount of money is in your own bank account by April 2026, because if you are admitted, we advise that you apply for the residence permit as soon as you receive the letter of admission from us, because processing of the residence permits can take up to 5 months. And then working while studying. It is possible for international students to work in Finland. However, there are certain restrictions. These kind of depend on the nationality and the nature of employment. However, you should not count on getting a job to finance your studies, because here in Finland finding a part-time job is very difficult, especially if you don't have any language skills at all. But yeah, this was the short introduction into the topic of how to apply. As mentioned earlier, we warmly welcome you and encourage you to participate into our How to Apply webinars. In December, we have 2 different webinars, one for bachelor's applicants, one for master's applicants. And registered participants of the Applicants Day will receive links to the webinars automatically, but please remember that they will also be available on our websites before the webinars. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie, for this and also for this relevant information for all the people that are watching us right now and they're like thinking about applying. So we have all the information and also where to look for the rest of it in order to provide like a smooth application process without hurries and last moment freaking out. And so thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah. I hope our viewers got all the information that is required for the application process. Okay, now we're moving on to our next part. In this part, we're actually going to discuss with some of the students of JYU about their experiences studying and living in Jyväskylä. And at first, we are going to talk with Asif, a second-year master's degree student of high performance computing. Hi Asif, how are you?
Hi, Renua, how are you?
I'm good. Asif, as you are living here for almost 1 year, can you tell us some of your experiences living in Jyväskylä and studying here? How it was different for you as coming from another country to here?
To be honest, it was different because I came from a warm country where temperature rises up to 40 degrees Celsius, and now here temperature goes down to minus 20 degrees Celsius. So it was a really change in terms of weather, in terms of culture and everything. But then again, it was a very pleasant experience, and I am very, very glad that I have taken this opportunity.
Asif, can you share with us some of your memorable experiences in Jyväskylä and what do you like the most about Jyväskylä?
Well, there are many memorable experiences. I haven't been in the bus like alone in my life, so most of the times I see that the bus goes around without any people. Sometimes I am the only person in the bus, so that was very new experience for me. And snow. I haven't seen snow. That was a very, very great experience to see the snowfall. And yeah, that's about all it.
Was it hard for you to get settled in Finland after coming from, as you said, you're from a very warm country to a very cold country?
Not really. It's very. If you follow the process, and it's very timely process that you know from your back of your mind, and it doesn't change, so it's easy to get settled here, and you know everything, like where to do the registration, city registration, DVV registration, and the university is very helpful for the students to do what is necessary. So I would say it's very easy for a foreigner who comes here and to get settled.
Okay, so Asif, can you give a presentation on Jyväskylä to our viewers?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So it's so where are we actually? We are in the city of Jyväskylä, and city of Jyväskylä is 300 miles away from the north to the Helsinki. So. It's around 150,000 inhabitants here. So every day it is increasing by 1,000 or perhaps more. So what's important thing is in Jyväskylä there are 11,000 foreign language speakers, which is very important. That means it's a quite international friendly city. So if some international students come here, they can get the vibe of international community, international culture, so everything. It's a very important thing that Jyväskylä is an international city. It's a very important thing for the students also. And coming to the student part, there are 40,000 students in this city. So if you can do some quick math, you can see that every third person here is a student. So that's a very interesting fact of this city. And then we can go to the city system. It's a very public traffic connections, very good. It's you can go to any place of the city within 15 minutes, just to say. And the Finnish people like joke about it, that you can go anywhere within 15 minutes. So it's a very interesting fact.
Yeah.
And as I told you about the buses are really on time. Every transport systems are on time, so you can move around the city in every 50 minutes. So that's a very interesting fact. And now I want to take the opportunity to say that it's also a very close to nature. So there are very good service at the heart of the city. We can see lakes, as it is called, Finnish Lake City, lake districts at the heart of the lake district of Finland. So you can see nature all around. Now, if we go back, if we go to the capital city of sports, so Jyväskylä is often called the capital city of sports, and it's we have the faculty which is sport and health sciences, which is only one faculty in Finland, but that does not mean that it's for only the athletes. It's for everyone. Here you can see everyone is walking, swimming, bicycling. So in the winter, people are skiing, and in the forests. In the summer, people are cycling to everywhere. So it's a very health conscious city where you can find it everywhere. And as I mentioned, that we have the only one faculty in the whole Finland, which is on sports and health sciences. One interesting thing I can say, that even the professors here, whatever the weather condition is, they bicycles towards their faculty. And this is very healthy city in terms of like you can say it's a capital of sports. So now moving on to the wide range of cultural offerings, we have it's the fun part for a student. You want to have to mix with the cultures and the offerings. So though Jyväskylä is not a very big city, but every time in the year there is something is happening. You can see the City of Light. So it is one of the famous festival in Jyväskylä. Even when I was back in my own country, I came to know about the City of Light and everything. So what is this City of Light is actually? It's a very interesting thing. It's kind of following a legacy. And that is the the city of Jyväskylä designed the lighting infrastructure in Finland. So to follow this legacy, every year in late September to October, in the first week of October, this City of Light happens. What is every part of the city is lighted with beautiful lights, beautiful architectures of lighting, and you can freely move around it. You can see that it's the whole city has become an art gallery. So I think you have experienced it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Joaquim also.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
City of Jyväskylä is like one of my favorite events in Jyväskylä. Yeah.
Yeah. So people can easily move around every part of this in this festival and see and enjoy the light. So it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And the second cultural event that one can enjoy here is Jyväskylän Kesä, which is commonly, if I translate to English, it's Jyväskylän summer. So it's actually celebrating the whole summer after the cold winter, and in this Jyväskylän Kesä, every sort of cultural activities goes on. It's like music, dancing, food festivals, and art galleries, arts are shown in the streets. So every sort of cultural activities in Jyväskylän Kesä you can watch and enjoy. So another, which is my favorite part of the festival, is I found out, which is Suomi Pop. As I am a music lover and I try to do some music by my own self, so I try to always find some interesting cultural music events. So it's in Suomi Pop. It's the biggest music festivals in pop music, and one of the biggest music festivals in pop music and rock music here in Finland, which happens here in this city. So if you want to keen to Finnish pop music, well, you don't have to learn the Finnish language to enjoy that. It's very, very fun if you are into music and rock music and festivals. Yeah, Suomi Pop is your thing. And now the Sector Rally Finland, which is the biggest rally of motor bikes and motor cars. Engines are roaring around in some late August. So you can join this rally, which goes through the forest. People enjoy every bit of it, who are not into motor engines or motor rallies, but people enjoy it all around. And then there is a sauna. So it's Finnish people love sauna. I didn't have experience about sauna before, but here sauna is a very, very, very important in Finnish culture. Maybe most of the Finnish houses have sauna. So if you want to experience sauna, there is a public sauna near to city center. That is Villu, and here you can have the sauna experience, and you can dip into the cold water. You get cold again, and then you become warm again in the sauna. So that's a very interesting experience that you can have. And there are a lot of more. I can go on. There's museums, theaters. Yeah. So there is a Alvaro Aalto museum in the city center. So it's named after the great famous architect of Finland, which is Alvaro Aalto. And yeah, that's all about.
Yeah, thank you very much, Asif, for sharing about the Jyväskylä city and your experiences with us.
Yeah, and now I want to share some thoughts about the university community, about Jyväskylä. So it's Jyväskylä is a wonderfully green city, and Seminary campus is beautiful in all seasons, and the city is just right size both in terms of distances and population. It's never crowded, and you can walk or cycle everywhere. So you can see more in Jyväskylä.fi, study in Jyväskylä, and visit Jyväskylä region about the thoughts about the city of Jyväskylä.
Thank you very much, Asif.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Found it really interesting.
Yeah.
Also, like I come from a larger city, and when I first came to Finland, I thought it, okay, Jyväskylä is actually like much smaller, but I like it because it's big enough that you have all the services that you need, but also small enough that you can really find everything you need, and also like get to know most of the people in your field, and that is actually very interesting.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank
Asif,
you so much,
for
Joaquin.
coming and for your ideas. And now we welcome Juliana Campos.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you,
Hi.
Juliana?
How
So
are you?
Juliana is a student from the Development, Education and International Cooperation Master's degree. She comes from Brazil, so she's going to tell us more about her journey as a student here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, now we're getting to listen more and hear more about like all the offers that our university has, and also the city. So it's actually a good and refreshing way to remind ourselves of like how
Yeah.
fortunate we are of being here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Hi, everyone who's watching. And I'm very glad to be here. My name is Juliana Campos, as Joaquin was saying. And I'm here to tell you more about the student life in Jyväskylä and JYU, and what kinds of services you can take advantage of once you're here. So, the city of Jyväskylä, picking up from what our colleague Asif was talking about, is a city that is very centered around youth and, you know, all different kinds of people, but there are so many services that you can take advantage of, and I think it's really great to know about these, even if you're coming with your family, so you can see what kind of things you can do here. So let's go through this list. So I think Jyväskylä is a very culturally dense city. There's so many art exhibitions, concerts, there's just art all around, which I find really refreshing. And yeah, there's just a lot to do culturally speaking. And as Asif was saying, sports are a big thing here, and it's for everyone, beginners, doesn't matter what level you are. And one thing that I found really fascinating is winter sports, because coming from Brazil, I had never even seen snow before. And it's actually really easy to do them here. Like, it's not expensive. In my opinion, it's a lot more expensive in other places. And you get a student discount for skiing, at least. And you can rent skates for ice skating. So I highly recommend that if you come, when you come, you try those out. We also have a lot of libraries here that offer many services beyond books, which I also find fascinating. You can play instruments, you can rent out a room just for you to study or with colleagues. And yeah, like you can practice your hobbies there. There are books about all kinds of things you can think of. There are books in other languages as well. So I think libraries are a really nice, like, safe space. And it's like in the winter, it's really nice because it's warm and everyone's there and you can have a coffee and it's great. Yeah, and if you're coming with children, they have the right to attend daycare and preschool, and also basic education services. And those are really famous worldwide, and it's not for any reason. Like it has a reason because education here is so special and intentional. Like the pedagogies, the teaching here is very student centered. Coming from an education background, I'm just constantly like amazed by the services and the methodologies that teachers use. And you don't have to worry about your child integrating because the classes here are multicultural and multilingual, and they have the tools to help children integrate successfully. And I've heard many great stories about families that are doing great here, and it's an amazing city to raise children in my opinion. It's safe. Education is great. There's lots to do, parks everywhere, and just nature, which is so valuable for children to be in contact with nature in that way. There are also youth services and adult services with workshops, clubs that you can attend. And I feel like really the city of Jyväskylä and the universities, not only JYU but also YAMK, they do their best to support you in integration and to help you continue whatever you've already liked to do before in your own countries. If you have a hobby, I guarantee you there's somebody here that also has that hobby, and you can find them and find your group. And you can also explore new things that which you haven't before, different hobbies, sports, like we were talking about. Yeah, and then last thing I want to highlight is the student discounts, which we all love. You can get student discounts in so many places around the city: museums, cafes, restaurants, the cinema. You can get discounts even for skiing. So I love that. And yeah, those are some of the services for students in Jyväskylä. And as far as study services for international students at JYU, we also have a lot, and I really appreciate this, and I've come to experience some of these, and it just makes you feel very welcomed. So I really hope you take advantage of these. You can always come back to this presentation recording, or access the slides, or even explore the JYU website where you find all of these. So before you arrive, you have support. We have the tutoring service for students, which is incredible. When you are accepted into JYU, you are assigned a tutor from your program, and they have the task to, tour you around and show you different kinds of activities. Berry picking is very popular, apple picking, going to the sauna together, going to a lake, swimming. So it's just lovely to be welcomed in that way. And they can also pick you up from the train station. Most people come by trains from Helsinki, so you won't be alone. Like from the very beginning, you will have somebody to guide you and help you around. The student restaurants, oh my God, I eat there every day. I've been eating there for like a year and 3 months now, and it's so convenient because, yeah, who likes to cook? Not me. And the food is really healthy and really cheap, and I just really appreciate it, like how reliable it is. Like it's always there, and you don't have to worry about, like, you don't have to plan your meals, which for me it's so good. Yeah, libraries with workstations and meeting zones, like we were talking about in the previous slides. Libraries are just fantastic places in Finland. And actually here where we are actually, this studio is located in the library. the main library, and it's one of my favorite places on campus. You can get a room to study with colleagues in peace, and it's just great. There's also a nap room, which I love. If you're ever feeling tired, you can reserve the nap room and just nap, and that's amazing to me. I was so impressed by that when I came here. Yeah, English and Finnish language courses, those are my favorite. I made so many friends in the Finnish course, and it's something that I personally love. I'm a bit biased because I'm a language person. I love learning languages, but that's a really great place to meet people from other courses as well. University Sports Services, you move, it's a membership service, and you have classes, yoga, dance classes, many different options at different times. And that's also a really fantastic way of meeting new people and creating a group. You can try different sports, like group sports. It's incredible. Next up, well-being support for students. This is something that I actually took advantage of, and it was so incredible because you just feel heard, and you get counseling, you get support, and they follow up, which to me was incredible. They email you and reach out to you and follow up to see how you're doing, and that's just fantastic to have. If you ever need to talk to someone about anything, you can take advantage of the well-being support. Internationalization opportunities. You can get to go abroad and do courses, different courses. There are many opportunities throughout the year. The local friendship program, which I'm a part of as well, is amazing. Everyone that I know who has been in the local friendship program, it's when you are assigned somebody from Jyväskylä, somebody that has been living here longer than you, and you get to, really get to know each other. I was assigned with a Finnish family, and it's just lovely. I love them. And we've been friends through this program for a year now. Career support is also something you can take advantage of. There are different career counselors that you can talk to. If you find an internship, there's the option for getting an internship voucher from the university, meaning if your internship is an unpaid one, you can apply for an internship voucher, and that's another really cool option. And then lastly, alumni study rights. I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys knew this, but after you graduate, you can continue on studying to, keep getting involved in academia and expanding your knowledge. So yeah, those are some of the services. And of course, this is a lot of information, but I'm a student ambassador as well as these guys and Asif. So if you ever have questions about any of these, please reach out to us through the JYU website. We're here for you if you have any more questions. So yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
No,
very
thank
much,
you,
Elena.
Julian.
Yeah, I'm really like how Jyväskylä and Finland actually helps the internationals to really get into the mix with the society because of the services they provide in the international house or in JYU, the local friendship program and stuff. So they really help the international to actually like integrate properly in the society, which is like I think it's really one of the best thing that I have seen.
Yeah, no, for sure, because it can be very isolating and lonely to come abroad alone, especially if you haven't done that before. Like in my own culture, it's very normal for people to, live with their parents until like later in life.
Yeah.
So when I came here, I was 24. My family was like, "Oh my God, will you survive?" And
Yeah.
I just took a leap of faith and came. And yeah, like it's amazing. Once you're here, you feel welcomed. It's like it's something really hard to describe. But the whole atmosphere is so welcoming, and there are all of these services. So they really do their best on their end to help you integrate, and now you just have to take advantage of all these services.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Juliana,
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, yeah. Now I want to welcome Sarah, a second-year master student of digital marketing and corporate communication, to talk more about why did she chose to study at JYU, and also Hang.
Yeah, Hang is a master's degree student in the language, globalization, and intercultural communication
Yeah,
master's degree. So thank you both for
joining us.
joining us. And
Yeah. We will first talk to Sarah. So
Yeah.
Sarah, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, Veronima.
Sarah, can you give us some few reasons why did you choose to study at JYU, and how you becoming an international student, coming to in an international environment, actually helped you to change your perspective towards your studies?
Yeah, yes, if you had asked me this question before when I applied, I honestly couldn't even explain why I chose Jyväskylä. And now that I'm living here, honestly, this hits so differently. The city is so beautiful, super peaceful, and surrounded by nature that you would just, hang around and, wander around, figure things around, and explore new places. So it has that vibe that makes you feel at home. And when it comes to why I specifically chose JYU, I think being a business graduate and working in the same field, I was pretty much clear about why and what I wanted. So I wanted a program that could help me understand both marketing and, how people connected and communicated in this new digital world. So I think when I was searching universities, I saw that JYU offered DMCC course, and I thought that was a perfect fit. And I love what I love studying more about here is that it's more than about reading books, and you get to think about yourself and work on real projects and know people. Plus, these professors are super supportive. You could say that the support has been there ever since, even before when I arrived here. So yeah, they have been so supportive. And I think another reason why I would love and choose DMCT again is that how they have a very high research culture. Not you don't end up writing endless papers, research papers, but then I think more of an interesting perspective, and it's more of a mindset that is encouraged in everything you do. I think everything you do, whether it's the classroom projects or your discussions, you are encouraged to speak and grow accordingly. So yes, I think, and I've come to appreciate the Finnish culture, which is very clear, honest, and people focused. It's for me, it's been more about knowing more about the tools and then different marketing campaigns, but I think it's more about understanding people from diverse backgrounds and sharing ideas and learning to apply them. So yeah, I think these are the very crucial skills that anyone who's starting out in digital marketing and already working in digital marketing field.
Yeah. Can you also share us some of the tips you think you can give to the new students who are actually wanting to study digital marketing, or it's already started in this year, or prospective students, if you have any tips for them?
I think the best tip is not to worry about if you have a good knack of technology and marketing and you love communicating to people of different backgrounds, then I think this is your line. And of course, in this new hybrid digital world, you should be, very much aware about the new trends and how, the global world is evolving. So yeah, that is it.
What do you think, like, how digital marketing studying here a little bit different from your own studies when you did your bachelor's in your own country? How it is different from your own country?
I mean, I think both are better in own ways because that was a bachelor's and this is master's. So I think the more you advance in your stages, that was more of a traditional. If I was studying marketing and business, that was more of a foundation stage and the basic and traditional things you learn about marketing. But then when you come here, you have an international exposure and you study with people of different diverse backgrounds. You know how people communicate in different countries from different backgrounds. So you just get hands-on experience and more practical approach towards that field.
All right. Thank you very much, Sarah, for
Thank you.
telling about your experiences
Thank
studying
you
at
very
digital marketing.
All right. So, Ham, tell us more about like your program and how did you end up studying here in Finland?
Yeah, so I'm studying, like Joaquin said, I'm studying language, globalization, and intercultural communication program now. Like when I applied, I didn't know. Like, of course, I searched about information about the university and about the city, but I didn't know like everything about the university. But I had some clear ideas about what I want to learn, what I was searching for, or like what I want to get from this university. So basically, I wanted a program that really like align with my academic interests, and I would like to study in an international and supportive environment. And so, firstly, the first reason why I chose this university, and to be honest, was because my program Logic, because I've always been interested in like exploring how language connects people from different cultures and what kind of role it plays in intercultural interactions, intercultural communication. So at first it was very interesting for me. And besides, there aren't like many programs that really combine intercultural communication with language. I think most of program they combine like intercultural communication with education, business, or management. So Logic was different. It was kind of like stood out for me. So I got, even if I had offer from another university, another program, eventually I still chose this program because I think its focus is what I really exactly wanted to study. And I think, and the university itself is well known for its strong background in language and the intercultural communication research. So here, I think in Logic we don't study grammar or pronunciation. We look at how language like works in a global and multicultural, intercultural context, like how people use language to express their identities, to build relationships, or how even sometimes to show power distance and inequalities. So I think that's great. And also one thing I really like about this program is that it can connect theories with real world issues. Like in classes we talked about how different accents are built in our society and how globalization and social media change the way that people communicate, people interact. So I think that's really nice because you can always find a way to relate what you learned from school to real world cases. And I think the other reason is because it's very important for me to study in an international and open-minded environment. So when I read that there are like many students from many different countries, I think I thought this university would be a perfect place to meet people around the world. So, like, I believe not just logic in all our international programs, you can meet people from different countries and different backgrounds, like people from Asia, Europe, and Latin America, and people who used to work as engineers, teachers, interpreters. So, like, every discussion, just a simple discussion, conversation, or group work, group project, there are international experiences. So I think for me, for especially someone studies intercultural communication, that's very important because you don't like learn intercultural communication from only textual materials like textbooks or articles. You're living with them every day, and you can always learn from real world. You can always like learn it from daily conversations, daily interactions. So I think that's nice, and I really appreciate the inclusive atmosphere here because there is no such a very rigid hierarchy here. No matter you're talking to your fellow student or your friends or your professor, team leader or coworker, like we are basically equal, and people encourage different voices. They encourage you to express your ideas, and they respect different opinions, and they're open to like open discussions. So I think that's nice. I think such environment like helped me to feel more comfortable to speak up for myself and to be more patient as well, to listen better and to really understand what like intercultural competence means. So I think it's really nice to study and live here because it can help you to be more like confident and more comfortable when you interact with different person. And I also think this city itself, like to be honest, I didn't know much about the city before I came here. I know that is the University of Jyväskylä is in Jyväskylä, of course, and Jyväskylä is in central Finland, and is the seventh biggest city in Finland, and they had the first Finnish teaching school here, and it's surrounded by beautiful natures, blah blah blah. Then basically that's all. So, but when I actually moved here, I think the city, it was something that I wanted because I don't really like very busy and crowded places. So it sounded nice to me, the city and the university. And I think that no matter it's the city or the university, it's not too calm and not too boring. It's not too busy or too stressful. I mean, you can find a way to balance your life, your study life, your work life, and your well-being here. I mean, of course, you can focus on your studies and your other works, and you can also like balance them with your personal life. You can always find different activities to join, and you can always meet with people, or you can just simply enjoy your peaceful life, enjoy the beautiful nature, the everything. So I think it's one thing really nice to study and to live here is that you will know that life is not just about like getting a perfect GPA or being super productive. It's always about how to enjoy your life, how to find a place to reflect, to grow as a person, as an independent person. And I think that's really nice, really great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I really like what you were telling us about your program.
Mm-hmm.
And also I think something that is great about this university is that we have a lot of like multidisciplinary
Yes.
courses that go around. So in my degree of sports
Yeah.
management, we also had some courses on intercultural communication. And if I think about myself living back in Uruguay, which is like population is very much homogeneous, and we all talk the same language. Our neighboring countries as well. And then coming to Finland, when you have to adapt to a new culture, a new language, but also having students from all around the world, and then you can see like how relevant it is not only to study it as a subject, but also like to apply to yourself and like have it help you find your own place in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true because I also studied communication studies before, and we had courses about intercultural communication. But like you said, I was still in my home country. There, everyone, we have the same nationality. We even come from the same city, same province. So you don't like really notice how important it is. But when you actually like emerge to a different environment, different place, then you will like know like how important it is in your life when you interact with people, the way you talk, and how to be more like how to understand things from different perspectives, how to be more empathy. That's all things that you have to learn and you need to learn. And that's nice. But you can learn naturally here.
Right. So coming back to the student life, so we are the four of us. We are students here. Like, how would like a regular day be for you? Like from the moment that you wake up and then you come to the university or whatever, like just to try to like share the image of what our day looks like as students here.
I mean, it's like any other normal day because we're in second year and we have like a lot to do. We are running out of time. We have our thesis started and we have our courses. So I think our days are going by just figuring out like what to do next. And I think mine is like pretty relaxed in evenings, but yeah, busy in the mornings.
Yeah, for me, basically the same. Like Sarah said, we are second year students, and most of us we are doing our working on our thesis, having project work, thesis seminar, and yeah, I have to say my life now is quite busy, quite occupied. Like always have something to do, lectures or other works. But I think it's nice, and I also, like I said, I try to balance myself, not just like devote all my time to study and to neglect my other like needs, like my needs for social interaction or just for like entertainment. I also try to leave some time for me, maybe just to listen some music at home or do some exercise or meet some friends.
Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Renma?
Yeah, my student life is now also occupied with thesis, and I'm also learning Finnish, so I'm trying to learn it a lot. And also I had some finance courses also with that, so I'm also like pretty occupied with studies and stuff. And yeah, that's it. So guys, like if I want to ask you that what was your like memorable time, what was the most memorable time you had until now as a student at JYU, what would be that?
I think for me it was the light festival. Like it's really fascinating to see how differently they display those lights. I mean, Asif really explained it well, you all know. But then that was memorable for me.
I think for me there are many like memorable moments. But I think now one thing I can remember is that the first lecture we have in the S building. Do you know the lecture hall is a very beautiful place? Yeah, they have I think also the defense speech for doctoral students here also. So it's a very beautiful lecture hall, and I remember when we had the first lecture there, I stepped into the classroom. I felt like it's really different. The style of the architecture and the layout of the classroom is very different from like my previous university. So that was pretty memorable for me.
Yeah. What about you, Joaquin?
Well, if I think one of the best moments here, I would think it was in the winter weeks. The winter school is one of the projects that the university has, and in the sports faculty, we have, of course, like students from the sports faculty, but also people coming from other universities. So it's the exchange students that are going to stay here for the whole semester, but also some students from other universities that just come for the winter school, and that is we had some seminars, and also we took part in a conference, the Football is Medicine conference, so that was very relevant. And they also took us to learn how to do some winter sports. So we went cross-country skiing, alpine skiing. They took us all to the Bilu sauna, and we got to like to go to the sauna as well, but also like to share to the other students like the sauna culture, even if we are not Finns. But it was a nice environment to go, and then we were in the sauna, and it was like 80, 70 degrees, and then we go and jump into the water.
Yeah.
That one of the pictures that I think Juliana shared, like we have all the frozen lake, but what they do is they open like a hole in the ice so that you can jump in, and of course like it's incredibly cold, but because you come from a warm place, then you jump into water, then you come out. Like at least I was feeling like, okay, like I am hot, I am cold, I have no idea. Like, my thermostat is broken, I'm just like and these kind of opportunities, there are things that I have never been able to live before. Actually, if I thinking of my own building, the Liikunta building, which is the building of the sport faculty, it was designed by Alvar Aalto, which is like the most famous Finnish architect, and it is actually like a pretty old building, even though like it feels very modern. And sometimes, for example, I have class at 8 a.m. and then it ends at 10, and then I have time to go to the gym inside the same building, and then I have lunch, I have another lecture, and then I can go to the sauna in the university. Yep. So after a lecture, all right, go to the sauna and then go home. And also, because the city is of such a nice size, like you can really like come and go very easily.
That's true.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Siren, for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Yeah.
Now we are going to go for our last break now, and you have also the opportunity to ask more questions in the faculty's booth and get to learn to know more about the programs. Visit also the virtual tour of the university and learn more about the student life here. So please, after the break, we are going to start answering some of the questions that we have been receiving. So please, if you have any other questions, please write them down in the event chat. That will have also our chat specialists going through them and trying to go to give you like the answers that you need. Also, there is the admissions booth that you can go and ask the questions that you have. So thank you all for watching so far, and we will see you in a couple of minutes.
So, welcome back everyone from the break. Before the break, we were talking to some of our students and were listening about their experiences studying at JYU. And now we're almost at the end of our webinar. At this point, now we are going to answer some of your questions that were in the research form. We have divided and combined all the questions that you have asked to us. And if you think that you didn't get your answers properly, you can visit to our virtual booths and ask more detailed questions. And don't be upset if we didn't actually put your questions. Maybe we have covered the questions in the later part. So be with us to listen all the questions, and for more detailed questions, the virtual booths are here. So let's begin with the question and answer.
Okay, so we have the first question. Is there any application fees, and can I get an application fee waiver? So the application fee, as Annie told earlier, it's 100 euros, and that fee has to be paid for all applicants that come from any countries outside of the EU or EEA or have a permanent residency in Finland. So basically, if you are liable to pay fees when you are studying, then you will be liable to pay the application fee, and there is no waiver. You have to pay it.
The second question is, do the university accept installments, thus per semester or upon the acceptance of offer letter? An applicant must make full 1-year payment. For your first year tuition fees, you have to pay the whole amount, and then after you have come here and completed your first year, you can pay like half for autumn semester and then half before the spring semester. But for your first year, you have to pay the whole amount, and then you can pay half.
All right, next question. How to apply to undergraduate programs? So right now we have two bachelor's degree program, Business in Innovation and Sustainability, and Immersive Software Engineering and AI. So these belong to two different faculties, so the eligibility requirements and the application process is a bit different for both of them, but they are all explained if you go to the website what is the different criteria that they have, or you can ask also in admissions. But then each program has its own admissions requirement, but then everyone who has to apply, you apply via the study info in the general application.
Yeah.
In the joint application in January, and is the same period, and you will use the same to apply for up to 6 universities here in Finland.
Yeah. So next question is, what are the admission criteria, tuition fees and scholarship? Well, previously in this webinar, Annie has already mentioned about the application process and tuition fees. Your admission criteria actually varies on which program you're applying to. Some of the programs require you to take some GRE GMAT test or SAT exams. Some will require other things like recommendation or work experience. So it actually varies on which subject you are interested in, and you will get to know more about your interested subjects, criteria, and scholarship and tuition fees if you search jyu.fi/study and then search for your desired subject, and then you can find all the requirements and the tuition fees requirements and everything. And also our virtual booths are here, and you can ask to the education coordinators on that about your details, questions regarding the application process or requirements and other stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, the next question is how to make my application stand out. So again, like each program has its own criteria. So the first things you need to know is to learn what does your program requires, and then start to work towards, like, there are some things that you have to like think ahead on. For instance, there are some things that are just bureaucratic, just getting some paper from your previous university and getting them translated, and those kind of things that really is just like you need to do it, but then if you wait until the last moment, you are not going to be able to have time to do all the other things that really can make an impact. So depending on the program, for instance, in my case, I have to write a motivation letter, and then I have to write an essay later on. So in that case, like, it really depends on the program, but it behooves you to try to really prepare and anticipate and expect what are the following steps. So what I think that all courses may be evaluated in the assessment will be like what is your motivation to study, what is your interest in research, and your own like academic story and also the work experience.
Yeah, also for my subject, it requires some GRE GMAT test, and I would suggest if you are like registering for the exam, you take the home-based exam or maybe the exam in IELTS exam if you take by around October, November or December, so that you can get the papers by December and so that you can apply on January. And you should attach all your documents and legalize all your documents while applying on January and attach them by 7 to 21. I recommend that, but there's a deadline that you can actually attach your documents until 28, but I recommend you to attach all the documents around 7 to 21 and yeah, that what I did when I applied here. And also you have to check which subject you are interested in and what criteria there are. If they want recommendation letters, you have to submit there, and if they want other work experience later, you should submit all the papers by 21 to get admission properly. Yeah.
All right, our next question: can I get admitted to university with a Romanian baccalaureate? Yes, so you can use your baccalaureate diploma to prove that you're eligible to bachelor level studies. Depending on the bachelor's program, there may have additional requirements such as an admission stakes test or standardized aptitude test or the SATs. So I will recommend that you familiarize yourself with the program-specific admission criteria in advance.
Yeah. The next question is, what are the application process for an European citizen? So if you are an European citizen, your application process is kind of same as the non-EU citizen because the criteria would be same. But as you are a non-European European citizen, you don't need to pay the application fee because you are going to have a European citizen residence permit card. And if you get admitted, you will also be exempted for tuition fees as you are a European citizen, but all the criteria that your desired subject actually wants will be same as non-European and European.
All right, Following question. I wanted to know if applicants with significant work experience can apply for MS in the DACO program. So the short question is yes, you can apply. Check the webpage, the DACO program webpage and the admission criteria to get more information. But also, I know that in some universities they ask you if you want to study a master's degree, you can you have a limit of time after your bachelor's to enroll. Here in JYU there is no limit or age requirement. So for instance, I started my bachelor's when I was 34 years old. I started my master's when I was 34, so 8 years after finishing my bachelor's. And I was also concerned about how being away from the academia for so long will affect me. But not only it was not a disadvantage to have been away for so long, but also having a lot of work experience relevant to the field was also a plus in the moment of applying, because it's not that I will want to learn more about this subject, but also that I have a relevant experience already in this topic that will make myself a good student for this master's degree.
Yeah. Another question is there any age limitation for international students for apply? Well, as Joaquin said, he started after 8 years of bachelor. There is no limitation. You can start your master's degree or bachelor's degree even after a long gap. I know some people who started their degree here around the age of 50 because they wanted to return to academia. So, yeah, you can apply to our program even if you have a long gap between your studies. You're most welcome.
All right. Are there scholarships for those students who want to get a master's degree for people over 40 years old from Ecuador? So There are no scholarships for the first year. We have the JYU scholarship for the second year of studies. What you can get is the early bird discount. So when you are off after you apply, you are offered your study place, and then if you confirm your study place by the first 14 days, that doesn't mean that you have to pay it right away. Just confirm that you are coming, then you get a discount of 1,500 euros, and then for the second year, you, depending of the fee of your tuition, you get a discount that goes around between 30 and something % of the tuition fee if you got 55 credits or more in the first year.
Okay. Can I choose another degree not related to my previous one? Yes, you can. If you have like relevant experiences in your study field, yes, you can. Like in this webinar previously, we have discussed with Raine about game studies, where he mentioned that if you have relevant game experiences, you can study game studies in master's program. If you want to, like, you have 5 or 7 years or more years of experience in the game development area, you can start studying in game studies. And also I have some friends who has studied another field, but they have worked in some other field and they want to do a master's. They want to come back to academia to do that kind of master. So yes, you can if you have the same experiences, and if you show that the experience, and your master's degree will help you in that, your career in that experience, you can.
All right. How many applications do I need to add in my application? How many recommendations do I need to add in my application? So depending on the degree, you may need more or less recommendations. It depends on your program. But it's important, if you see that you need the applications, don't wait until January. Start like trying to first figure out like who are the people you're going to ask recommendation from are, and then contact them and say, okay, I'm going to apply. I need you to write me a recommendation letter, because it's also very likely that they are going to say, okay, tell me what I should put in that recommendation letter or what is relevant. So the more time you have to prepare that, then it will be better for you. And yes.
Okay. So another question is about, can I apply for PhD after completing master's from JYU, or can I get a fully funded PhD in conflict studies or development studies or closely related programs? Yes, you can. Application for our PhD programs happen twice a year, and the next round is around April 2026. You can check out the PhD programs and your desired subject. If you go to jyu.fi/study and search for PhD programs, you will get to know more about the PhD programs and the requirements, the criteria, and the deadlines for the PhD program. And if you complete your master's in JYU, yes, if you can talk to your supervisor, they can help you with the PhD degree after your master's completing from JYU. So I think if you are planning to do a PhD, you have to search more about the PhD studies and requirement from our JYU website.
Thank you. So what are the dates for application? Is there any February intake for applications? So there is no February intake. The application period is for January 7th to January 21st. And then you have some time for the attachments. If you have not finished your previous degree, like, you can have a conditional application, and then provided that you finish before the date that they will set, you can still apply.
Yes. What is the English speaking requirement if you have bachelor's degree from an English speaking country? So depends on the country you have studied. Suppose your degree is online basis, you have studied in UK university, but your study was online, then it's not possible. And or if you get if you have enough proof that you have studied physically in a English speaking country, or you are English speaker, you have previous studies in English speaking country, then you can be exempted from the English speaking requirements, or else you have to like have English speaking exams, or if you want to have more information on this subject, you can email to our admission services. They can provide you more information about this.
Okay, so we have some more questions about the English language. So, for instance, can I apply with a medium of extraction? Can I take admission in the masters without IELTS and 3.5 years of relevant education? Could you please share information about the admission requirement for international applicants, especially regarding English language proficiency? So each program will have their own English level assessment. So for some of them, you have to take IELTS or any other like tests. For instance, for my program, it was the ACRES test, in which they, with your application, they are also testing your English level. So it depends from program to program. Regarding the medium of extraction, if you conducted your studies in one of the countries that are approved, then it will be good. But then you check the website, because they will say, depending on which program do you want to apply for, what are the requirements.
So there are some questions about some particular programs, like some people have asked us about, like they are interested in music science, whether this is recognized as music therapy studies. And some also we got some questions about how difficult it is to get to in biology or physical activity as a foreign student, and if they can get a chance to study in educational sciences and stuff like that. So I would suggest you to visit the subjects websites by jyu.fi study, and then see the requirements, criteria, and if you have a lot of questions regarding this, you can email to our admission office. And also, if you are listening right now, you can also go to the virtual booth and they ask them your detailed questions, and they will tell you more about your questions.
Yes. I've been a teacher for about 10 years in Japan, and I'm going to submit the translation of certificates of teacher's license and employment to apply for master's degree. I'd like to know if I need to submit the translation certificates. So each program will say which kind of translations do you need and what kind of translations are accepted. So all the attachments has to be in English, Finnish, or Swedish. So you will need an attachment and a copy of that document. And then, how difficult is it to get into the master's degree program in biology or physical activity as a foreign student? Then, well, each of the programs had a defined number of study places that are open for application, and that depends on the particularities of each program, and it also depends on how many students apply and the criteria for the round. So yeah, I guess it is competitive, and you can see the student intake statistics in the How to Apply website to see how it goes. But yeah.
Okay, there was a question about, I wanted to ask if the program includes practices on a company, and if so, if it could possible to make them on USA. So actually, different kind of programs include internships and different work practices. You have to search on the programs, and if you want to know more about it, your internship and work experiences and stuff like that, you can visit our virtual booths and ask our admission team.
All right, so the last questions. What type of accommodation on campus is available for international students, especially girls? So there's 2 student housing companies that are called Soitu and Coas. They offer student housing with affordable costs. So for example, a shared private room in a shared apartment goes around between like 280 euros per month to 420. And you can also get around for 350 euros your own studio apartment. So it's affordable, and it's also a very safe campus and city to live in. And can you tell us more about student life and support services for international students? So there is an education coordinator for every program. There are the subject association, JYY, and a lot of different support units from the university to help you to help you as to thrive as an international student. So following now, what our next steps are. So we have the how to apply webinars for all applicants. So we have for the bachelor's degree programs is going to be the 8th of December at 3 o'clock at UTC +2. That's our local time. And for the master's degree program is going to be on the 10th of December. And please follow us on social media at Uni of Jyväskylä.
Yes.
And then, thank you all
Thank you very much for joining us today. I
Um,
hope you got all the information you wanted to have.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you all for coming, and we still have a couple of minutes if you want to visit our virtual booth and learn more about the university. Then you can see all the information from the programs in jyu.fi/study. Follow us in all social media as at Uni of Jyväskylä, and thank you very much.